Hi, welcome to Speeding and Rolling. I'm backstage of a rehearsal, but I'm here with two filmmakers who've got a film coming up. I'm here with Maurice Chapdelaine. How do I say your last name? Chapdelaine?
Chapdelaine.
Chapdelaine, okay. And Bob Christie. Hello, guys.
Hi, hi.
Now, you have a documentary that you completed in 2021, Pat Rocco Dared. What drew you to this? What drew you to this subject matter?
That's a good question. I'll start then, if Bob doesn't mind. Interestingly enough, when Bob and I were touring with our first documentary about 11 years ago, Beyond Gay, The Politics of Pride, we met Pat at a film festival in Hawaii where he was living. And as an established filmmaker there, he was doing a little expose and review of his work. And I got to see some of his short films for the first time and was completely blown away with how beautiful they were, how sexy they were, how timeless they were, and also shocked that I had never heard of them before, and that many of my peers and colleagues didn't either. And right away, Bob and I started talking, and we thought, we've got to tell this man's story. It's important. It's an important part of LGBTQ history, and it's just such a beautiful piece of history. So we started working with him back then, like 12 years ago, and it was a long process.
Nice. Now, you guys have worked together a lot on two other projects, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Now, shooting a documentary, and the other two were documentaries as well. They're challenging because you sometimes have a wealth of material. So, well, I'm interested in knowing for Pat Rocco, how long was the first catch?
Well, that's okay. That's my ballpark. I co-edited the film with Nico Stagius, and I think the first cut was like 2.5 hours long. Pat has a wealth of films that were all at the UCLA archives, and they were really helpful with us, giving us all this footage. But, you know, to start, we just had like, I don't know how many hours and hours of Pat's films to watch and go through and choose what was good and find out what was available at the archive and what we were going to have to restore ourselves and all those things. So it was hard getting it down to like 90 minutes where it sits now, but it moves really quickly, and we're excited with the way it turned out.
Nice. Now, I want to show a quick the trailer for it. So we're going to take a quick peek at a little bit of Pat Rocco Dared.
Hi, my name is Pat Rocco, and I'm here to talk a little bit about what it was like in those early days.
We are coming out of the closet. When are you going to come out of yours?
Gay rights constitutes human rights, just as black rights are women's rights or any of the others.
The filmmaking became a platform for the activism. The two mixed. The loving films, the gay films, the nudity films, and what was going on in the community. It showed, well, there's the two sides of Pat Rocco.
I love the chance to sit with elders. We learn about how to do our work going forward.
Pat, thank you for bringing me down here.
Very few people see this room.
People think LSD is a trip. They should try taking hormones.
From what I understand, Barney's Beanery has had a sign inside its bar that says, "Faggots, stay out."
In order to do one portion of the film, you're all going to be nude.
He photographed the first gay pride parade in the world.
He made sure that we were inserted into the queer landscape, and so his body of work is a documentation of a world changing in terms of how it thought about sexuality, how it thought about race.
Watch, see what happens. We'll all find out together.
Great. Now, Bob, you're wearing a very special shirt. Can you show us your shirt? Show off your body on camera.
Yeah, there you go. Well, this is a shirt that Pat Rocco had made, and he brought a bunch of these. So Pat was actually the Grand Marshal in Vancouver in 2011, I think. And when he was here, he handed out hundreds of these T-shirts, and I still have one. And it says, "A lifetime of achievement and innovation, friendship in the GLBTQ community."
Wonderful. Okay, so now when I'm looking on IMDb, because I do my research, Phyllis Diller is involved in this film in some way. Why is she on the IMDb credits? How did she get involved?
I'll take that quickly. I mean, Phyllis and Pat were very close friends. He was on stage with her in one of her very first large theater productions in Los Angeles. And that was, my goodness, was that the late 60s? I think the mid to late 60s. And after that, they became like bosom buddies. And, you know, he knew her family, and she knew his partner David really well. And as you'll see when you come to see the film on Saturday, they were so close, and he spent some time with her and actually shot some little video footage of her visiting with her, talking about music, talking about her performances, awards shows and whatnot. And it was just such an important part of his history that it needed to be in the film. So it's a touching moment. He really did have an impact on his life as an old bastion of Hollywood celebrity life.
Nice. Now, he was ill, if I'm not mistaken, he died about a month after you filmed this footage. So did he ever see the film? Was he able to see it, or did he pass away before you were completed, I would assume?
Yeah, it wasn't quite that close to when we were there. It was closer to a year before he passed. But yeah, he saw some of the rushes, but we never really got much past that. And then his health really started to fail, and he passed away.
Well, he must have also been very thrilled to have a movie made about his life, and seeing the rushes must have really, really touched him.
And I know he's watching.
Lovely.
We can feel him often at the screenings, and while I was in the edit room, he still had his fingers in the pie. I'm confident of that.
Telling you what shot to use. Don't use that shot. Use this shot.
Oh, absolutely. If I ever had a decision to make and I couldn't, I would just sit for a second and he'd tell me what he wanted.
Nice. Now, what are you hoping? Because it's screening for the first time in Vancouver at this event, Real Causes. What are you hoping that people are going to take from this film? I mean, we're obviously going to learn about Pat Rocco, but what do you think he would want us to take from it, or what do you as filmmakers want people to take from this film?
Well, as people have seen from the trailer, there's so much beautiful erotic filmmaking that he did, and we did our very best to highlight some of our and that's a big part of his life. But more than that, this is really a story about aging gracefully in this LGBTQ community, and doing it with grace and style, and also learning from our elders and how important it is for us to make sure these stories get told, and how they can impact us still, from Bob and I, who are in our 50s, to young straight and gay men and women that are in their 20s. They've really been moved by the story, and that more than anything has been really important to me to watch.
Nice. How about for you, Bob?
It's a bit of a call to arms as well, like not to get complacent in our freedoms here and take them for granted, and to always keep working. Making things better for everyone.
Yeah, that's really important, because of course some of us have lived through, like, just not that in the not too distant past, when California, before the states entirely went same-sex marriage, which looks like that might be going away, California had already passed it, and then it went away again. So yeah, just because you have a right, or just because you think it's right, doesn't mean there aren't people who are out to get it. Well, how about this? Our last thing, we'll start with Bob, then we'll do Maurice. You're going to look right at the camera and tell Vancouverites why they should not miss this film, and don't say because it's good for them. You have to give them another compelling reason why they should come into the theater and see this film.
Well, you should come to the theater and see Pat Rocco Dared, because it's presented by Real Causes, an awesome social justice film society in town, and the screening supporting the Vancouver Pride Society. And there's lots of nudity in the film, and but I watched it with my 87-year-old mother, so you can get it. You don't have to feel awkward, but you can feel titillated, and it's an important piece of history, and you got to come see it. Fun.
Nice. Morris, did you hear anything that he left out that you went, okay, I know how to get people, I know how to get bums in seats?
Well, no, Bob didn't leave anything out, but more than anything, I will emphasize that it is incredibly titillating and sexy. Anyone from any age will see it and respond to that. I don't think I've ever seen a film with more male nudity in it than you will see in Pat Rocco Dared. So that alone makes this an epic, excellent pre-Valentine's date. So I hope to see you there on Saturday. Bob and I will both be there in person, and it's going to be a fun time.
Fantastic. Well, thank you both for taking time out of your busy schedules to talk to me. Sorry, I was at a rehearsal space, so hopefully the noise wasn't too annoying. And I look forward to the screening on Saturday. Thank you.
Thanks,
See you there. Thank you.